Utah State quarterback Jordan Love just declared for the NFL draft. And I think this is the right move for him. I'm glad he's going to the NFL. He could have stayed in college. I think the only wrong move he could have made was to stay at Utah State. Jordan Love was considering transferring to another school. I heard rumors about Texas Tech and Oklahoma were thrown out there. And he was considering transferring or going to the NFL. In the end, he has decided to go to the NFL. I think that's the right move. At Utah State, he had horrible, horrible teammates, an awful offensive line, and it was hurting his development as a quarterback to every week be matched up against teams that were more physically dominant and gifted than them. And usually, I've even made videos saying that it's good for quarterbacks to not play. Like, I think playing at Alabama can hurt you a little bit of your development because you're never challenged in the pocket. But the pendulum can swing the other way too far where, I think that if you're playing for an offensive line that is literally awful, and you have teammates who are awful all the time, and you're just trying to be Superman constantly, it can really hurt your decision-making and your habits and all kinds of stuff. And I think Jordan Love has somewhat been a victim of his teammates were terrible, and he was trying to carry them and trying to be Superman a lot this year, and that's why they were so bad. And he developed some bad habits because of his offensive line, and the best thing for Jordan Love was to just get away from Utah State. Get out of there, go get better coaching, go get better teammates, put yourself in a better position to develop as a quarterback, because where you're at, you're not developing, you're getting worse, actually. Here, he literally got worse. Last year, 2 years ago, his sophomore year, he had 32 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. This past year, in his junior campaign, he had 17 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. The interceptions are just an example, but what that shows is that right now, the way Jordan Love has been playing, he's not ready for the NFL. And we learned a big problem with Jordan Love. We learned a big flaw. What changed around Jordan Love was that his talent was awful. And that he got a new coaching staff going into this year, his junior year. And this new offense at Utah State forced him to learn a new offense and learn to do things differently. He had to throw more regularly to his second option and his third option. He couldn't just rely on throwing to his first read all the time. And we learned that Jordan Love, this is why Jordan Love is not ready for the NFL. Jordan Love really struggles to come off of his first option. And almost always, I say quarterbacks should stay in college. I very rarely say a guy should come out. But to get away from Utah State, I think he should come out. I think it's best for him his development as a quarterback. Jordan Love needs to go to a place like New Orleans and sit for a year behind Drew Brees, or Pittsburgh behind Ben Roethlisberger, or if the Chargers keep Phillip Rivers, or Tom Brady with the Patriots. He needs to go, maybe Derek Carr. Maybe the Raiders draft Jordan Love in the second round, say, we're going to challenge Derek Carr and eventually replace him. My point is that Jordan Love is incredibly physically gifted. Like, the talent is all there. I love and not just like his ability to run and throw. His fundamentals are phenomenal. His footwork is top notch. And when you give Jordan Love all the right tools and he makes the right decision and has everything lined up, oh my gosh, special things happen. Great back shoulder throws, perfect velocity, touch over the top, great deep balls, great stuff on the flats. I mean, just everywhere. Jordan Love is a really talented quarterback. But his issue is that he's not ready from a decision-making standpoint for the NFL. It kind of reminds me of Patrick Mahomes, who was this really talented but just messy quarterback at Texas Tech. And if you teach Jordan Love how to read a defense, man, he can be special. He can be lethal. Jordan Love needs to leave. I'm glad he's leaving Utah State. He needs to go get better coaching. He needs to get better teammates. And he needs to sit on the bench and learn how to play quarterback. He's not ready. Jordan Love is not ready to be a starter right now in the NFL. He might be a first-round pick. He might be a second-round pick. He reminds me a lot of DeShone Kizer, but he's better than DeShone Kizer. DeShone Kizer was a quarterback from Notre Dame who came out early and left Notre Dame before he really should have. And DeShone Kizer had all this tremendous physical talent, but he was forced to play immediately in Cleveland. It's Cleveland. They were awful, and he wasn't ready, and he just got destroyed. His career was ruined because he played before he was ready in the NFL. Jordan Love needs to sit on the bench and needs to sit and learn. But if he does, if Jordan Love is allowed the proper time to develop as a quarterback and gets good coaching, man, he could be like the next Patrick Mahomes. Remember, Patrick Mahomes sat for a year behind Alex Smith. He played in one game his rookie year, week 17, when Alex Smith was resting, and they gave Alex Smith the day off going into the playoffs. That is the path I see for Jordan Love, but I'm very, very clear. Let me be overwhelmingly clear. He needs to sit. He is not ready. But absolutely, I draft him because we saw what he's capable of his sophomore year. We saw a mess his junior year. You can fix his habits, get him better coaching. Jordan Love has potential to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He's just got to get it harnessed and come out of him. You got to coach him. But if you can do that, I would draft Jordan Love if I had a quarterback who I could use to play next year. If I had Derek Carr and I'm like, I already got a good enough quarterback and we might replace him someday, I'd draft Jordan Love in a heartbeat. If I'm the Saints, the Steelers, the Chargers, whatever, Jordan Love has the makings of a great quarterback. He just needs time and he just needs coaching.